Hello everyone, I am Jimmy Taraletona and I'm the youth leader and pastor of Church of God Mission International Australia. And for my sermon today, I'm going to be talking about hard work. But to begin, I would like us all to please read from Genesis chapter 4. And now, from verse 1 to 2, it basically explains how both Adam and Eve had two children. The eldest child was Cain and the youngest child was Abel. And there came a time where both children had to present an offering to God. And so as you read in verse 3, it basically states that after some time, Cain gathered some things he had grown. He brought them as an offering to the Lord. And Abel also brought an offering. He brought the fattest part of some animals from his flock. They were the first animals born of their mothers. The Lord was pleased with Abel and his offering, but he wasn't pleased with Cain and his offering. So Cain became very angry and his face was sad. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why are you looking so sad? Why are you looking so sad? Do what is right, and then you will be accepted. If you don't do what is right, sin is waiting at your door to grab you. It desires to control you, but you must rule over it." Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." So they went out. There Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Now I just want to explain the verses we have just read. So basically, God desired that both Cain and Abel present an offering, or to put another way, a sacrifice to him. And now the purpose of an offering or a sacrifice was, one of them was to honor God. The other one was for the forgiveness of their sin. And this can be found throughout the scriptures, for instance, such as Leviticus chapter 6 from verse 25, which explains that sin offering were to be slaughtered before God. And in John chapter 1 from verse 29 in the New Testament, which basically when John saw Jesus, he referred to Jesus as the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. And as mentioned also in Revelations chapter 13 from verse 8, which basically writes that the Lamb which was slain from the foundations of the world. And now talking about sacrifice and offering, it's believed that the custom of sacrificing to God was revealed to Adam by God. And this could have been when God killed an animal and used its skin to clothe both Adam and Eve. So both Adam and Eve would have learned that it was through blood sacrifice that could atone for their sins and that of humanity. So Adam and Eve basically would have taught and passed on the custom of sacrificing things such as sheep and goats to their families and descendants. So therefore, when both Cain and Abel came to present an offering to God, they would have fully understood the purpose of sacrificing to God. And now, a common question which is usually asked when reading Genesis chapter 4 is, why was Abel's offering more pleasing to God than that of Cain? From my perspective, the answer could be found in Hebrews chapter 11 from verse 4, which reads, "By faith, Abel offered to God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain, through which he was commended as righteous, God commending him by accepting his gifts." Now, having explained that, I will remind us all once again about my topic, which is about hard work. And I want to make a statement which might seem a little bit controversial and contrary to popular belief, but it's true. And that is, hard work is important for success, but hard work alone is not the key to success in life. Why is this? Well, if hard work alone was the key to success in life, then it's possible to say that a lot more people would have been considered to be more successful in the eyes of the world. And that could be have more wealth, more possessions, more riches, stuff like that. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people working very hard. Some of them even have 2 jobs, 3 jobs, but yet they're in debt. They're struggling to pay off their bills, struggling to provide food for their families or themselves, and even other essential things. So hard work is important for success, but hard work alone is not the key to success in life. Now why? Because it's possible for someone to work hard at something that they were not born in purpose to be and to do, and never experience success in life. For example, there's no doubt that Cain worked very hard, but yet regardless of how hard he may have worked to cultivate, to grow crops, the scriptures states that Cain's offering was not pleasing to God. Why? Because the purpose of them coming before God was not only to offer a sacrifice, but to offer a sacrifice in faith. So the reason why Cain's offering was not acceptable to God is simply because he did not offer it in faith. So regardless of his hard work, regardless of his labor, his offering was not pleasing to God. Someone stated that the experience of being rejected or accepted by God is identical to success or failure. So therefore, because Cain's offering was rejected, he was a failure. Now don't get me wrong, because I'm not saying that Cain may not have been born in purpose to do things like farming and growing vegetables and other things. What I'm simply saying is that when both Cain and Abel were presented before God, what they were purposed to do in that moment was to offer a sacrifice in faith. Because Cain did not offer his sacrifice in faith, he therefore failed. Regardless of how hard he worked, he did not succeed in offering a more pleasing sacrifice to God. The scriptures goes on to say that Cain was very angry and sad. Now from my perspective, this is what tends to happen to a lot of people in life. Some of them are working very hard at a certain thing, but because they experience a lack of success or constant failure, they become angry, frustrated, depressed. Some of them are living a miserable and unfulfilled life. Maybe you've had similar experience before. You put a lot of time and effort at doing something, but you're not experiencing success. And from my perspective, it's possible to say that one of the major reasons why a lot of people experience a lack of success, regardless of how much time and effort, regardless of how hard they work at a certain thing, is because maybe what they're working hard at might not be what they have been born in purpose to do and to be. For instance, it's like a bird trying to swim. The truth of the matter is, no matter how many swimming lessons a bird takes to learn to swim or to live underwater, because a bird has not been born in purpose to swim or to live underwater, it will always experience failure, a lack of success, and end up being depressed, frustrated, and living a miserable and unfulfilled lives. Now in relation to the bird, a lot of people are living a miserable and unfulfilled lives. Why? Because what they're doing might not be what they have been born and purpose to do and to be. And so I say to you, if you've been working hard at your job, your studies, or something else, and you all have been depressed, frustrated, and living a miserable and unfulfilled life, then I want you to sincerely ask yourself, is what I am doing right for me? Is this what I have been born in purpose to be and or to do? If your answer is no, then stop wasting your life and begin to plan on how you're going to successfully do what you have been born in purpose to be and to do. Because this is how you're going to live a satisfied, stress-free, and purpose-fulfilled life. Thank you all very much for listening. God bless.